everyone, and welcome to a late night draw stream. My name is Lunchbox Warren, and I am the creator of The Adventures of Sig and Joe. I'm just setting up right now, so bear with me a bit. If the music is too loud, give me a heads up if you're listening. I want to thank everyone who's joining me so far tonight. Tonight, I'm going to be working on a inking a page from issue 3, and I hope everyone is having a great night. Get this stuff set up. There we go. Add the stage. Bam. As I said, my name is Lunchbox Warren. I'm the creator of The Adventures of Sig and Joe. I also have another series called The Day the Realm That Stood Still that's in production. I am working with and partnered up with Max Weston. Max Weston is the creator of Welcome to Blue Water and also Wavelight. We are under the website and label of Daily Grind Press. If you could find us at dailygrindpress.com, where you can get both issues 1 of Welcome to Blue Water as well as issue 1 of The Adventures of Sig and Joe. Welcome to Blue Water is a crime noir story following the adventures of Yancho. The first issue is 64 pages. That's 64 pages written and created by Max Weston, interior drawing done by Joe Wong, with grayscales done by myself. The Adventures of Sig and Joe is a 40-page issue for $1.99, with interior art, written art by me, as well with editorials and lettering done by Max Weston. Max Weston also letters his own series. Right now, I'm working on a page from issue 3, so we're going to get right at it. Like I said, if the music's too loud or if you have any questions or just want to chat, feel free. I'm going to be talking and drawing while I work, and I got to get myself a new pen here. This one is dead. I'm currently using a 22-inch Julian tablet, and the art program I use is Clip Studio. Let's see here. Bam. So let's get started. I hope everyone is having a good night. Like I said, if the music's too loud or anything along those lines, give me a heads up. I'll check the chat when I can, but I'm a one-man show tonight, so bear with me if I don't get to you right away. I was planning to come on earlier, but I was watching Jujutsu Kaisen with my nephew. I've been showing him the first season of that. He's really enjoying it. One of my favorite animes out right now, as well as manga series, is Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm also a big fan of reading Sakamoto Days, and I'm also watching Frieren. At least I call the final something, but it is another. If you haven't tried to watch Frieren yet, it is an amazing anime. I'm watching both of these on Crunchyroll. Not the best app in the world, but for the price, I can get by. But just working on some inks for issue 3. Nothing too fancy. Issue 1 is currently on the website, like I mentioned earlier, with a Kickstarter launching May 1st. I'll be dropping the pre-sign up page here in around April 1st. I'm going to drop the link for the pre-sign up page. I've got the campaign page about 95% done. I just need to have some friends of mine who are well versed in Kickstarter campaigns in order to give it the once over and tell me what I need to change or what I need to work on it. But aside from that, though, it's pretty close to done. I'm going to be offering a packed digital package that's going to have a bunch of extra stuff in it. I've got issues of the comic book for offer. I've got variant covers, 2 that I did myself, and as well as one variant cover done by my good friend Pete Vasquez. He is an awesome artist and streamer himself. If you want to check him out, check out Pete 11717. That's Pete 11717. He is a great artist and a good friend of mine. I'm going to have stickers also available, a couple that I've done myself, as well as one done by Pete Vasquez and another good friend of mine, Art Victim. That is Art Victim. If you get a chance also to check out his channel, he's another one that does some great streaming and some beautiful artwork. Yeah, just working on this waste can vulture. The Adventures of Sig and Joe is my love letter to all the stuff that I grew up loving. It has it kind of looks like it has an influence from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. There is a lot of Firefly influence, a lot of 90s action movie type kind of influence in it. I'm a big fan of action and comedies, but they also have heart. If you get a chance to read The Goon by Eric Powell, that is a beautiful example of everything that I love in a good story. Sakamoto Days is another example of it. Great action, comedy, and then also some heart in there too. So it's not just a comedy or just action, but there's layers to it, and that's what I try to bring to Sig and Joe. You're going to see some wacky stuff, and then one moment that I want to try to add in layers of serious tones to it, and kind of keep you guessing on where it's going to go. It's part space opera, part action comedy, part parody. It's kind of all that stuff wrapped in there. When I first started wanting to do comics, I've always loved comics since I was little. I was reading comics in the Nintendo Power magazines. They did a Mario and a Zelda comic that I absolutely adored. All the way to going to the grocery store with my parents or my grandparents. I lived in a small town, so the grocery store was in the next town over, which was a 30-minute drive. And when they were doing the shopping, I would go straight to the magazine area where the spinner rack was, and I would start reading comics. And I remember back then it was around, I think it was X-Men, Uncanny X-Men 355. It was a double-page wraparound cover that started off with art by Joe Mad, and it was started off with a baseball game and then ended with Wolverine and Rogue in the sewers taking on the Morlocks. And Rogue has this famous line, and it was like our day started off with I believe it was like triumph and ended with tragedy. And it was Pete Joe Mad artwork. He was doing his thing at that time, and I absolutely fell in love with the artwork and the story and the characters. And then I just kind of kept going. Kind of got out of comics for a little while, the high school days, went off to the Army. And then when I was in the Army at my duty station, I wandered my way back into a comic book shop, and then I discovered The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller. Then I fell down the Frank Miller rabbit hole. At that time, the Image stuff Image was going real good. Joe Mad, Carlos Baccio, Chris Baccio. Was it Chris Baccio? There was a bunch of them. They all started their own variant at Image. J. Scott Campbell was part of that, where you got I forgot the name of the series, but it was that adventure one that they had going. But those were all part of the Cliffhanger, which was was part of Image, but it was like its own deal. It had Crimson, Battle Chasers, and that damn J. Scott Campbell series that I can't remember the damn name of right now, but that one was really good. Let's see here. Make sure I don't get any comments or anything. Like I said, if you do comment, I'll get to you as soon as I can. I'm just kind of bouncing back and forth while I work. But I was a big fan of all those guys' artwork. Joe Mad and Humberto Ramos. I believe it's Chris Bacci. I always screw up the end of his name, but he did. I think it was called like Steam Heart or Steam something, Steampunk. It was about the guy that had the big old steam engine in his chest. Crimson was Herberto Ramos, who's also famous for doing a lot of Spider-Man. And he had Crimson, which was the vampire story. I absolutely loved that one. Then Battle Chasers, of course. Even though the Joe Mad was like a year between issues, he was still, in my opinion, at that time, the best sequential artist probably in the game. I mean, don't get me wrong, Jim Lee, even J. Scott Campbell's sequentials were incredible, but there was just something about the mix between Eastern and Western influences in Joe Mad's art that was just beautiful. His writing, yeah, right, but you know, the artwork was just absolutely amazing. And you know, Battle Chasers, I was just a huge fan of that. Sword, sorcery, you know, just his beautiful, crazy artwork and his action scenes, his sequentials were just insane. Chris Blasio has great sequentials, but sometimes his can get a little muddy because he's put so much stuff into it. Herberto Ramos, he plays around with anatomy and he does this really graffiti-esque type kind of style, and it's just awesome. Bigger hands and the eyes and very anime influence as well. I was doing pretty good with a lot of the series. I kind of fell out of comics again for a while. But then I got revitalized when I discovered manga. And it was the artwork in manga was just insane. Akira Toriyama, Jujutsu Kaisen, Dragon Ball, My Hero Academia, Berserk, and now I'm reading a lot of manga, and I'm starting to get back into Western comics again. I just recently picked up Do a Power Bomb by Daniel Warren Johnson. Daniel Warren Johnson, he's also currently, I think he drew the first 6 issues of the new Transformer, and he is amazing, just such an amazing artist. What was his Murder Falcon? That series even made me tear up at the end. Like I said before, The Goon was another one that kind of revitalized my love for comics. The Goon was just a breath of fresh air for me when I was reading that one. Invincible with Ryan Artley art, and I believe it's Ryan Cord. I'm not 100% sure on the who was the first in Invincible, but Ryan Otley kind of took over and finished it from what I understand. And I followed that one all the way to the end. Garth Ennis's Preacher was another one that I was just fanatical about. And it was a great to find essentially like rated R comics that didn't have to, that weren't kind of, that weren't, so mainstream. They were really kind of out there. They were doing crazy, more adult type kind of things. People would actually, die in it, and like Invincible really is sort of like a rated R Marvel DC universe. But even though Ryan Otley, or not Ryan Otley, but Kirkman, he has never, I don't ever hear him say it. But if you know Invincible, he took a lot from Akira Toriyama's Dragon Ball. Viltrumites are essentially Saiyans. They, when you almost kill a Viltrumite, they come back stronger. They're a warlike race that travels around and subjugates planets, just like what the Saiyans originally were. Some people, oh, cool. Hello, Crayo McDonald. How you doing? I hope you're having yourself a great night. Yeah, it's he took a lot from Saiyans for Invincible. But Kirkman does some really awesome things, like the way he treated a speedster was good, and he took some Marvel tropes and DC tropes and characters, and he really did a great job of adding it layers to their powers, to what they're going through. So, and he does a really good job of setting stuff up and then kind of not mentioning it again, and then out of nowhere a character from like 4 issues ago or 5 issues ago just shows up, and they're like, oh shit, oh yeah, I forgot about them. And then there's a whole story arc with them. Kirkman does some really good stuff with his writing. But yeah, he took a lot from Saiyans for Viltrumites, in my opinion. Let's see here. Oh, hey, what's up, man? How goes it? Art Victim, Mr. McDonald, how are you doing? Crail, I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. Just getting some, screen time in. Hope everyone's having a good night. Just getting some work in. I've been meaning to stream more anyway, especially with the potential campaign, or with my campaign coming up in a little bit over a month. I need to start getting out there more anyways. Trying to work on my pitch for my comic. Still haven't quite got the 30-second pitch down yet. I didn't pick the easiest comic to start with when it comes to pitching along those lines, since Sig and Joe is kind of out there, really, when it comes to what's going on with it. But when it bases it down to it, it's a story about family and sticking up. It's a story about family and doing what's right. Sig and Joe are out there trying to do the right thing and to stick up for the little guy. It's kind of what U-turn. They're the patriarch. He's the guy piloting the ship. He's the one with the kick-ass mustache. He gathered this family of misfits together, and he's trained and taught them all on how to survive in this dangerous world of the waste can. It's a mining moon in this solar system that's just got done, or just had a massive war between two major controlling factions. Now there's just one controlling faction, and the dust is kind of settled. And really, the waste can is an occupied planet built up with all of these mining settlements, and then they just couldn't come in and take everything, because the Federation of Allied Planets wanted to they weren't going to just come in and take all of these settled miners' land, because it just PR is terrible. They just can't do that. So they set up no one can leave the planet unless going through the Stack City where the space elevator is. The major corporation, this my Acme or my Wayland Corp, if you will, is the Dab Corporation. They work on defense. Essentially, they make everything. They're like Acme or Wayland, where your TV is Dabcore, your appliances are Dabcore, most of your businesses are Dabcore. They have like a Dab Mart, which is like Walmart, and they essentially control the waste can. Now, part of the deal with the miners was they can keep their settlements, but they have to keep up quotas. So in this sort of suppressed land, if they don't meet their quotas, Dab is allowed to seize their mines. Well, nefarious things are afoot, and Dab is causing a lot of these miners to lose their settlements. And if they lose their settlement and their claim, they're all evicted. So our story takes place with our heroes, Sig and Joe, going out and trying to get information to get a medicine to help out one of the local closer mine settlements, because they've been hit with this sickness. Well, the only medication is through Dab, and Dab has been hoarding it all the way, and they're going to move it off planet. So our first arc, the train heist arc, or what arc I call No Good Deeds, is going to cover Sig and Joe and the family trying to get this medicine back from the clutches of Dab before they can move it off planet. On issue 3 that I'm working on right now is the start of the 2-part of the actual heist itself. The first 2 issues kind of set up the story, set up the area and what's going on, introduces us to some of the characters in the family, Marv, Amanda, U-Turn, Sig and Joe, some of the people in the town, Ash Junction, which is kind of like a central point town between the areas, and that's what the first 2 issues kind of cover. And then the 3rd and 4th issue will be the heist itself. Right now, issue 3 was originally like 45 pages, but then I went through and I wasn't happy with how the pages looked. So I went and sorry, I'm having a brain fart. I went in and I redid a bunch of the artwork, made the story a little bit more dynamic. I fixed a lot of stuff in the fight scenes. But to be honest with you, I always want to go back and change things more. Like I try to grow with every panel that I do, every page that I do. And there is a point where you get like, right now I'm working on close to my 100th page of stuff, if you count the first issue, second issue, and then where I'm at now in the 3rd. And I look back at that first issue and I'm just like, oh, there's stuff that I would change, there's stuff I would do differently. But there really does have to come a point when you're a creator that you just have to bite the bullet and release it and go for it. Take the lessons that you learn and make the next one better. Not saying the first one is bad by no means. It's just there's as an artist, you can be your own worst critic for one, and you also on top of that, you can as you get better, you always look back at the old stuff and be like, ugh, I could have done this better. My storytelling's better now, so you figure out ways to get the same plot points across. More showing, less telling. Always stuff like that. But I'm very proud of issue 1. I'm very happy and excited to be able to get that Kickstarter going. Trying to get into a local show. Haven't heard anything back from the organizer, but I'm just going to keep sending emails until they at least, tell me give me an email that says, yeah, you're in, or give me an email that says, quit emailing me. Either way, I'm going to get an answer and work at that. But yeah, Sig and Joe is a story, primarily about family, about Sig and Joe, about living up. And in life, you can say you want to be a good person, but being a good person is not about saying it, it's about being it. You can say, I want to be a basketball player, but unless you go out there, practice, and put in the actions for it, you're never going to be one. You're just saying it. Sig and Joe are going to learn that if they want to be heroes, if they want to stick up for the little guy, there is repercussions for that. There is stuff that happens when you when you kick a beehive and along those lines. So a lot of the story, the first arc is called No Good Deeds. The second arc is going to be called Go Unpunished, and it's going to be kind of along those themes of doing what's right and also the repercussions of those actions and how that works. And this is all going to be wrapped into with a bunch of humor, action, jokes, fourth wall breaks from Sig, who's essentially crazy. And we're going to dive more into all the characters, these wacky little characters that you're going to end up falling in love with as you're reading it. A lot of what I'm working on right now is art-wise is trying to to get speed lines and my page compositions better. I've been reading a lot of Sakamoto Days, Daniel Warren Johnson stuff, going through old Joe Mad books and looking on how they do composition on pages, on how they can, you're trying to tell an action scene, but you're trying to do it with, I don't want to say the least amount of panels possible, but the most efficient amount of panels possible that gives awe to the reader, but at the same time, you're not going to be doing too much. Balancing on when to put backgrounds in and when not to, not doing too many talking headshots, just more along those lines. I'm going to be putting out issue 2 of Sig and Joe after the campaign finishes for issue 1. So the PDF will be available on the website, and then I'll be prepping issue 2 for its own Kickstarter, which will be after I fulfill issue 1, which in the Kickstarter world, crowdfunding world, it takes time. It takes time to get the money in. You've got to get the print runs, which can take time, and then you got to ship them out. But once all that stuff gets done, then I'll be prepping and setting up to do issue 2. Issue 1 is completely done. I already have prints of them, and I've already printed out the books. So when you do the Kickstarter and when you buy into the Kickstarter, you're going to get the book right away. And you're not right away, as long as it takes a print. But there's no art. I'm not showing you 5 pages and saying, well, I'm finishing the rest as we speak. Everything is done, packaged, ready to go. All I need to do is get the things printed and send them off. Issue 2 needs some stuff to be ready for print, title pages, but the actual story and the lettering is done. It's just getting the covers ready and the title page and some ads in the back, and getting it ready essentially for print. And that's what I'm going to be working on with issue 2. I'll drop the PDF on the website and make it available after issue 1's Kickstarter. And then before issue 2's Kickstarter even gets started, issue 3 will be with Max Weston being lettered or already done. So I'm already rip-roaring ahead on this stuff. I'm doing everything by myself except for the lettering and the editing. So I am dedicated to getting these books done, even if issue 1's Kickstarter can't fund. All I'm going to do is reset, fix what I need to fix, build up more of an audience, and run it again. There's no stopping the Sig and Joe train or the Lunchbox Warren train now. I'm just going to be creating and making books and stories. It's there's a very thin line between obsession and passion, and I'm balancing that line myself. It's like all I do is think about comics every day. Think about my writing, think about stories, think about what Sig and Joe are doing, page structures, just ideas are constantly flowing in my head. If you see me walking around and I've got a look on my face and I'm off in a different world, well, I'm in this one working on this. I have been dealing with motivation issues, not necessarily. It's not like motivation as in I didn't want to draw. It's just I started losing. I say it as I was disheartened. I've lost the love for it on some levels. And I was dealing with that where I did have health problems, which I've gotten in order and working on, but I was really just not into doing anything. And I just really didn't have the passion for the project or the love. And I was just kind of putting on the Fireplace app on YouTube, and I was just reading manga and not really doing anything, not watching anime, not watching movies, just kind of blah. And with a lot of support and kind words from my good friend Pete Vasquez, from my best friend Max Weston, for my good friend Larry Higgins of Niobe Comics, who's on the last 2 or 3 days of 2 days, I believe, or 3 days of Outbreak #3 on Kickstarter. If you have not read Niobe, it is an excellent book. It is excellently written, great art, Bad Girl comic style from the 90s. It's just a great series. So if you haven't got a chance yet, go over to Kickstarter and check out Niobe. It is just it is great buy, awesome covers. But even if you don't do the whole cover deal, just a good series to catch up on. He also has another series called Savage Sin that's 1 issue in. But yeah, last, I believe, 3 days for the Kickstarter. Well worth it for you guys to jump in there and get that bad boy. But yeah, they all at their own time talked and helped me out and helped me put stuff into perspective. And Pete gave me a lot of great advice on what to do. Larry gave me a great pep talk, and Max Weston is who's my best friend, has always been super supportive. All these guys have believe in me more than I believe in myself at times. There's a lot of times where I question my ability. I question, should I be doing this? I question my art, and I have to really push myself to drive through this stuff. And these guys, all of them have really helped me out, believe in myself, and help me feel better about myself. And I can never really repay them completely for the support that they've given me through this. And it's just been really has. Even if I haven't been feeling my best, it's good to have supportive people around you like that. But yeah, I'm just working on these clouds. I'm actually almost done with this page, and then I'll start on the next one here. I'm going to be drawing for probably until midnight tonight, if not maybe longer. I don't know. I mean, it used to be a real chore to stream, but I've been feeling a lot better about it lately. If anything, it's great practice to talk and to keep entertaining. If people come mosey by. Most of these clouds I'm going to turn into my style of clouds, which is a real more kind of realistic look to them. I do everything in gray washing or gray scaling. I don't really know what to call my style except for that. I'm colorblind, and colorblindness is the inability to see certain ranges of color. I can see primary colors and most secondaries. When I get into what they call tertiary colors, which essentially is 3 colors combined. So like imagine you have red and you have orange, and then there's all that range in between. Around the middle area, I just can't tell. It all blends together into one look. So, and it really hurts on, or really is effective with digital. With digital color, I have a really hard time seeing. So I can't digitally color my artwork. So I started developing my own kind of grayscale cell shaded style. And I've just been kind of working on that, and working on my rendering, working on how working on all, on getting my style looking as pro as possible. Well, pro or looking where I want it to be. Sig and Joe has been kind of my college course in making comics art-wise. Sales, I'm still really terrible at marketing. I'll be the first to admit that, but it's just one of those things I haven't learned yet. And the more product I create, the more I'm going to be able to have something to sell and get out there and start learning how to market this stuff. Okay, so this page is pretty much inked. So you know what? I should add speed lines. Not inked yet. I'm going to add speed lines. So, bam. And I'm going to upgrade my pen here. I'm on 6, but I'm going to go to 8. And then... Oops. One of the hardest challenges for me is to loosen up with my art. Like, and this is something Max Weston's been helping me out with. Is I was drawing everything, trying to use as straight, perfect as lines as possible, and it was really kind of making my art, I don't want to say stale, but it was losing a lot of life. And I've been working on trying to get a lot more loosened up, having more of that energy in the art, realizing that everything doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be, it has to look good. Daniel Warren Johnson stuff has taught me a lot of that. All right, that's better. All right, let me get this page kind of going here, and then I'll set up another one. I'll check the chat here in a second if anyone's talking to me. And if you're shy and don't want to talk, that is perfectly fine. Lurkers are always welcome. I love lurkers. I love anyone who takes time to look at my art. I appreciate it immensely. Okay, so where am I at here? Pictures. I'm going to just open it up a new page. I should have had this set up beforehand, but these streams have been kind of like, hey, I feel like streaming. I'm going to do it. Well, and it's like when I was talking about earlier about falling out, not having love like I used to, or having a problem with my motivation. Joe Rogan, I listen to a lot of his show, and he said working out, you'll never, you have to drag yourself into the gym. You'll never regret going to the gym afterwards. Like you'll hate it before you go in there, but once you go in, get the workout, and you're never going to regret it. I look at drawing the same way. I may not feel like drawing. I may not feel like doing anything, but I'll never regret forcing myself to sit down and getting a page done. And it's one of those things that just keep driving through. Just keep working, no matter how you feel. All right, let me check this. Okay, that's the panel. So bam. Let me check the chat real quick. Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah, that's one thing about when I'm working. I'm getting faster. You can't teach yourself speed with anything, but what you can do with speed comes with repetition and practice. So, you just keep working at it, you keep drawing, and the speed will come along. I would kind of stress myself over speed before, and then I kind of realized, or I just kept on working, and I realized more and more that in order to get, when you become faster, is just by practice, learning how to do it, getting your processes down, your technique down, and then before you know it, you went from doing half a page a couple days to doing a page a day sometimes. I don't do a page from start to finish all at once. I do all the pencils, and then I go back and do the inks. And then after I get done with the inks, I'll go back and start doing the grays and the finishing. Some people like just kind of doing it all at once. like do page one, and I'm not going to stop doing page one until it's ready for lettering. I like doing it this way where I get everything kind of figured out and then I kind of go with it. My process has been evolving since I started. I originally started with doing I originally started doing essentially just sort of a basic story line or basic story synopsis and then making the comic. Now I do a lot more prep. Issue 3, I had the script and dialogue entirely done, as well as the layouts, the scratch layouts, before I started doing any of the finished pencils. And it helps out a lot because before, you get a page, you get halfway through the story, and then it sucks stopping and trying to figure things out. So it's good to get character designs, vehicles, landscapes, at least have a good idea of all of that stuff. I would watch a lot of YouTube videos, and you would see them say, get your character sheets done, get your script done, get your landscapes figured out. And I was just like, I don't need to do all that stuff. And then when I got into the middle of it, I was like, oh, wow, I really need to do all that stuff. When I first did Sig and Joe, I launched it on Webtoons. And I think it was like 56 pages worth of story. And then I was going to convert some of those, convert over and make an issue 1 for print. And then I realized that I didn't leave any room for dialogue. Because on Webtoons, you're doing the top to bottom scroll. So you have room between art and panels that you can put dialogue in there. When I started organizing it, or I already had organized the pages, I didn't leave any room for dialogue. So I actually started it over. All of those pages are on Webtoon, and those are all, I'm not using any of that artwork for what I'm doing now. All of it's now is brand new. I added a new intro to the story. Like the first 2 issues are all brand new stuff. I started off the Webtoon directly on the I started the Webtoon right when the heist started. And then when I started to do the relaunch, I went back and I redid issue 1, and that's where it came from. And then issue 2, originally the story that I had plotted out was going to be issue 1, but I had to turn that issue to issue 1 and 2 just because it got so big. So issue 1 and 2 were created when I did the relaunch for Sig and Joe. Some of the jokes kind of stayed in from issue 1 because or for my Webtoon stuff, but for the most part, a lot of it's refined and written in there, and a lot of it's been redone. I've added different jokes and better jokes in some aspects. Writing jokes is probably the hardest part about this so far, because you don't know if they're going to land. So I issued 2 jokes, had a couple jokes in there that I wasn't sure if they were going to land or not, but they did. And so that was good. The issue 1 jokes landed really well. I was very happy with that. So yeah, it's been a process. I've done a lot of what not to do types of stuff as I'm making this comic, but it's I've never done anything really more personally rewarding than this. I mean, I was a combat medic in the Army. Drove concrete mixers. I was a MA. I've done a lot of stuff that I'm proud of, but this was something that was just really personally satisfying on a level that's kind of hard to explain. Holding that first issue in my hands and just powering through all the self-doubt, powering through my own mind, my insecurities, and I really feel like I've achieved something, and it's something that's kind of a bug that's bit me, and I'm going to keep going at it. But yeah, working it's all that prep stuff though, to get back to that point, all that prep stuff is so worth it. It makes the process once you get to where I'm at now so much easier, because this is a lot of like production stuff. Not that it's not artistic, but it's just, inking, and the pencils are like, once the pencils get ready, I'm doing the inks, and then it's just like, okay, now it's almost like the job, kind of the production part of the job. um and let's see. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm starting to feel that spark back again, which is nice. It just took really kind words and support of good friends, and also it took just sitting down to my ass in this chair and working. Just staying positive, or trying to. Not easy to do in this day and age and in this world, but I try my best to stay positive. That doesn't look right, so that's better. All right, let me check the chat real quick. Let's see here. That is 100% correct. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. And yeah, it's that repetition, putting in your 10,000 hours in. All right. Oof. Yeah, while I'm working on this, I do have some exciting stuff coming up. Issue 1, Kickstarter. Issue 2, debut. Issue 3, wrap up. Issue 4, starting. And then also, um, by the end of the year or the start of next year, whenever issue 4 gets wrapped up art wise, I'm going to be joining the AP Superverse, the Antarctic Press Superverse, the amazing Ben Dunn, creator of Ninja High School, Warrior Nun, um, uh, Bikini or Bikini Sentai Rangers, and a publisher in the business for, I believe, well, many years. He's a great, great, great man, and does a lot for the indie community. With his permission, I am going to do a crossover between Sig and Joe and Penguina's sidekick, Pengu. Um, it's going to have guest appearances from Tomorrow Girl, another Ben Dunn creation, Niobe from Larry Higgins, and Penguina. They're all going to be in kind of the start of it, and then Pengu, due to an accident during a fight, gets sent across dimensions and ends up in the world of Sig and Joe. And then from there, a wacky adventure, get Pengu back home. I got a lot of cool action scenes planned. I've got a really kick-ass scene for Niobe that I can't wait to show Larry. And I'm going to be I'm really excited to get going on that, but that's going to start after I get done with issue 4. One thing I've learned in this making comics is that even if you're like me, who doesn't have the best marketing skills or don't know how to get out there and the audience building skills, it's never a bad thing to have books done. Publishers like Antarctic Press, they don't want a pitch or I have 1 issue of 4 done and I need to do the other 3. They want your arc done. So that way, when they start publishing it, there's no break in between it. It can come out as a monthly title and they don't have to wait a year or 2 years for it. They don't want to invest time into a project and then turn around and you don't get it done. There's stuff along those lines. So having a finished product, even if you don't know how, to push it, sell it, or get it out there in front of people yet, it's never a bad thing to have it done and in your hands. Another thing too about comics, when you finishing a comic like my issue 1, it's never going to expire. Comics aren't like fruit or food or anything. It's you have it, and then if someone discovers it 10 years from now, you can still sell that to them, and then it'll be a first day reader. So even with my shortfalls with marketing, I still am going to, I'm still working on having that first arc done. And then once I get that arc done, I have the ability to turn it into a graphic novel. I have the ability to show it to publishers. I'm going to be submitting it to Antarctic Press to see if they're interested in putting it into comic shops. I can create a graphic novel, like I was saying for places like Amazon, Barnes and Noble, stuff along those lines. They're having an arc done also shows a certain level of credibility with the audience. It's like, okay, this guy's not just saying he's a comic artist. He actually has book and artwork and stuff done to show for it. So it's even if I may feel like at times I'm not marketing enough, or I can't build an audience, or I'm just not being seen, I am still going to get the product done and the work, and I can always improve on my marketing later on and let that grow until I have that audience. My biggest problem is consistency, which I'm working on this year. Consistency with streaming, consistency on being on shows, consistency doing posts, posting on Instagram, Twitter, stuff along those lines, or X. Even though really a lot of those platforms feel like they got pretty jacked up algorithms, I'm still gonna I still need to be consistent and work through it. I don't like blaming other things. I always look at my own faults and my own weaknesses and areas where I can improve. So I'm gonna just keep at it and just keep creating, and just keep getting stuff out there and if this doesn't hit and people don't like it, I'll get more people with the next one, because the next one's going to look better than this one, and it's just going to keep looking better, because I'm never going to stop improving, because I'm always working on trying to get better, being honest with how far I am, being honest with my art, getting good, getting critiques, and just trying to improve all the way around. Let's see. Bam. This page, I'm going to have to, when I get to the gray washing stage, I'm going to have to I'm kind of excited for, because I'm going to be working on trying to get the water effects good as the helicopter goes close to the water effects around it. So that's going to be fun to figure out. I used to when I first started drawing, or when I was drawing before when I was younger, I had a lot of unfinished work because I was trying my hardest to make it perfect or to make it look like I had the idea in my head. And I learned while doing comics um, that just doing it is the best thing you can do when it comes to drawing. Just get it, like keep trying at it, erase, start, use references, just keep working, and you will figure it out. And every time you do it, it's going to get a little bit easier, and you just keep working and just keep going. You know, keep creating, keep drawing. You may draw a car, right? Draw it one time, it sucks. Uh, Draw that car 20 times. The 20th time, it's going to look better. Draw that car 100 times, and it's not even going to look like the same artist did it from 1 to 100. And it's just keep working, just keep driving. All my positivity, trying to stay positive and keep moving. I'm going to check the chat here real quick. All right. That Ko-Fi Streambot's nice. Yeah, keep trying to get that going, Ko-Fi Streambot. Thank you. I started a Ko-Fi, just following the example of my friend Pete Vasquez. And I don't really know how to use it yet, or what to do with it, but I'm going to start working on that more. I think posting to it. I got a Substack, but I haven't been doing any writing for it. There's more stuff working on consistency. Uh, just throwing stuff at the wall. I'm going to try to make some shorter videos because the YouTube algorithm likes that. But just kind of figuring out how I'm going to do it where I'm having fun and I also can be consistent. Um, I think consistency is like the term for 2024 with me. It's like, work on being consistent on all of the different aspects of art and marketing and comic books. Because if you're going to do comic books, every single individual part of comic books is like its own profession by itself. And it all takes time, knowledge, practice. You might be a natural at certain things, but it's you're not going to be a natural at everything when it comes to making comics. You're going to have to figure things out. You're going to have to work on how to finding your voice and how you're going to finding your way that works for you, that you can stay consistent. Let's see here. I'm going to add another layer. I love layers. Okay. Yeah, if you notice, I'm adding more detail, like to the vulture's face, as I'm drawing this, and it's one of the things that if you're inking your own stuff, you don't have to do the pencils as finished, as if you were going to hand it off to an inker. If you're going to hand this off to an inker, I would do a lot more detail in the pencils, so and really get everything kind of rendered out the way I'd want to. If you look up a professional artist like Joe Mads, and you Google in like Joe Madura pencils, you'll see his pencils are like essentially finished artwork. He has all the shades in, the values, every little nook and cranny. And then if the inker goes through it, they're not going to have to do nearly as much guesswork or fill in. It's exactly what Joe Mad wants it to look like at the pencil stage. I will practice sometimes by taking Joe Mad pencils, or Mike Mignola, creator of Hellboy, or Jim Lee, and if I can get images of their pencils, throw it up on Clip Studio or on my iPad and Procreate, and then I'll ink them. And I found that you can actually learn a lot by inking somebody else's finished pencils, because inking is not just throwing black lines over top of the pencils. It's kind of imitating how they did those pencils, the stroke techniques, and the way that they moved. You can tell sometimes when someone inks and it just doesn't quite look the same as what the pencils did, because they're just not quite capturing the motion and the energy that the penciler put in there. So it was very it was a kind of a surprise on how much I learned, and how much my technique improved by just working on inking over professionals' work. It's a nice little fun thing to do when I'm not drawing this kind of stuff. My style right now is very cartoony with tattoo influences, because I used to be a tattoo artist, as well as graffiti influences, because I used to do graffiti. And I'm starting on working on getting more rendering, more detail, trying to find that balance where I'm not spending too long working on a page or a drawing, but at the same time, I want to add more to it, more rendering to it, more energy, more life to it. So that's just stuff that I try practicing when I do studying, when I study other artists, when I study manga. Just really looking over the pages, how the composition is. My artwork has improved a lot from issue 1, but there's still a lot to go. I don't want to ever be like, oh yeah, I'm friggin' awesome, because I'm not. I'm still an amateur in a lot of aspects with my art. And that's not. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not putting myself down. It's just, when you look at the Ryan Otley's, Jim Lee's, Joe Mads, Roberto Ramos's, even Josh, I think his name is Josh Weldon, who does what's it? Is it Power Punt? No, Punchline for Anarchic Press. He is one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best sequential artists in indie comics. Like the fact that that guy is not working for the big three is either on a personal choice on his level, or the big three is insane, because Weldon is just absolutely amazing. There are some really amazing artists in the indie world right now, and guys that I really look up to. Robert Powers, who does Penguino, is just absolutely amazing. I don't call Ben Dunn an indie artist, because Ben Dunn is a learned, stout professional, but he is another amazing artist that I try to study. It's there's just so many good ones out there, and so many people to look up to art wise. So one of those days, I hope to get my art where I feel, up to a level where I have that real stout pro look, and I'm drawing all sorts of cool stuff and constantly challenging myself. Sean Murphy is another one, is just absolutely an amazing with his compositions, with his anatomy, with his style. He does some DC work with Batman, and he also has a Zorro book that's coming out. And yeah, absolutely just amazing artists and writers, and trying to get up to that level one of these days. Let's see. Oh yeah, definitely McDonald. The Mike Mignola is amazing. The way he uses blacks. Not only that, just his storytelling. Hellboy is just insanely good. I absolutely adore Hellboy. He is just awesome. He's so good. Let me get some water here real quick. I hope everyone's having a wonderful night. All right. Okay, how long have I been at this? Because I might need to stand up for a sec. It's always good to stand up and move around a little bit. You don't want to be sitting too long, so give me 1 sec here. Oh. Gotta shake things out a bit. Oh. All right, there we go. Keep my ass from going numb. All right, there we are. Once I get issue 3 inked, which I have I think it's 6 more pages to do. I got to start working on a couple variants for issue 2. I've got the main cover done. I got to work on some variants. I'll probably do another 2 for by myself. I'm going to have my good buddy Pete Vasquez do one again. He did one for the first one, which was just this amazing variant cover that I love. And then I'm also going to get Art Victim, who did this cool kick-ass Marv sticker. I'm going to have him do a cover for me as well. So you're going to have 2 guest variant artists doing for the variant covers on issue 2. And I'm excited to see the stuff that they come out with for issue 2. That's going to be really cool. It's just there's a lot of fun, a lot of good positive things going on in my world. So it's just going to keep building on that, and getting to see some beautiful artwork done by these great artists, and growing the product, and getting out there and letting people enjoy the art. I got a bunch of sketch covers to do too, but it's just finding time to do everything. I have considered putting issue 3 on the burner until I can get some more other stuff done, but I really just want to get at least the inks done on issue 3 before I concentrate on getting too much other stuff done. That is what that is 100% true. Better to be a numbass than a dumbass. I agree. Thank you for the laugh. That's awesome. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I hope I hear back from this the Chamber of Commerce about this convention I want to go to that's local. It's called Galactic Fest, and it's kind of a convention, but it's for aliens, like the ancient alien type kind of stuff, and Area 51 kind of deal. And if I get in, I'm going to do a 12-page coloring book. I'm going to make a 12-page coloring book that's alien themed, as well as do some original aliens themed art, make some prints, some stickers. So that way, I can sell those as well as issue 1 of Sig and Joe. Well, it's going to be in August, so maybe issue 1 and 2 of Sig and Joe, and as well as like the Lunchbox comic stickers and stuff along those lines. It'll be some work getting that 12-page coloring book together, but it'll be a lot of fun, and I think the kids will enjoy it. Just have to know whether or not I'm going to be in, so I can pull the trigger and actually get that stuff done. Okay, let's see here. All right, so the bird and the plane, the big ones are done. I like working sort of foreground back if I can. I'm going to combine those layers, so those are on one layer. I'll add a new layer and work on this stuff behind here. So I'm going to go down to a 6 on my G pen and start working in these guys. It's farther away, so I don't do as much of the detail in the face along those lines because it's more farther away in the background. I still want to put some in there, but not as much as when it's closer. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, excuse me for 1 second. I'm going to grab something to blow my nose with. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Actually, this leg would be behind the chest, so I got to make. There we go. That's better. And then I can't forget the tail feathers. Okay. Okay. Check the chat, see how everything's going. Alrighty. Oh, hands going numb a bit, so let me give it a little bit of a massage. I've had to be careful not to overwork my hand. You got to wear a brace on it sometimes when I'm not drawing, just to get that wrist to relax some. Also had to work on how hard I hold the pencil. I was holding it way too rough, way too hard, and then now that was just causing more damage and pain, hand ache. So I've had to work on my style a bit to make sure I'm not hurting myself. Oh, shit. No, thank you, Art Victim. The music is Lockdown. Well, it's the list is on my Spotify. It's copy free music, Lockdown at P Trees. Most of it's Carl Casey music, and he does a lot of copyright free stuff. Yeah, thank you on that. Yeah, I'm definitely working on taking care of the hands and a lot more. I've got a I overworked my hands doing issue 2, and I was like couldn't draw for a couple weeks, and I learned that I have to be real careful. Yeah, repetitive stress is a problem. Um, Thank you very much, McDonald. I will check that out. That is awesome. Yeah, I try to get to stand up and walk around every hour or so, Art Victim, just so I can keep my legs and stuff circulation, and then I might my chair's doing pretty good, but I might have to get a new chair one of these days. And I try to turn down my brightness, and I also don't work on 100% opacity white backgrounds. I will turn the opacity down like to 5% to just give it a little bit less brightness with the pages. Yeah, I dig this kind of techno hardcore. Yeah, Carl Casey does some really cool stuff. Let's see here. Bam. If you want to join me, Art Victim, I'll send you a link. I'm feel free if you'd like. I'm just going to be doing this for a while. Yeah, McDonald's, you said you do Pokemon dioramas. That sounds really cool. I love watching the videos on YouTube of people making like different kinds of dioramas and stuff. And I always thought that was so cool. Do you do the stuff with like the 2-part epoxy kind of deals? Or are you is it like scenes from the show or along those lines? See that is The beauty of digital. Let's see here. Yeah, you can look it up on Facebook. Pokeballs by Crail. I don't do a lot of videos, but I do some stuff in resin. It's mostly just scenes from the games, animes, and all kinds. That is so cool. I'm calling night, but thanks for streaming. This was interesting to watch. Well, I'm glad you did, Crail, and thank you for stopping by. And yeah, I'll send you an invite here shortly, Art Victim. Just give me a sec. But yeah, and anyone who's watching, check out Crail, Pokeballs by Crail, and on Facebook, and check out her stuff. That's awesome. Thank you again for stopping by. It was so cool. Gotta get the headphones off. I'm gonna bring somebody in. Oh, I heard the pop.
It is.
What is up?
And mute this other one. There we go.
How goes it, man?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
These pages are looking great, man.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yep, just late night art.
Yep, about the best time I can get art done is at late night.
Yeah, this is the way.
What you working on?
I got a sticker for Jason Lennox. He does a comic called Lord of the Cosmos, and he got a hold of me after Larry, and in between your and Larry's job, he kind of got a hold of me to do this. So
Oh, badass. Let me bring you up here on screen top here. Hold on a sec. Bam. Yeah, that's looking good.
thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I've been getting some fun jobs lately, so that's kind of neat. I don't know if he's gonna like this green side light or not, but I felt like it was a good idea to go. So
Yeah.
play, you know, play with that. I got a blue side light that I was playing with too, so I might, I'm about ready to send him a pre-final, like kind of like I think I probably did the same thing with you. I sent a pre-final, asked if you liked it or not, and
Yeah.
any direction, and then he'll be able to tell me if he wants anything switched out. I'll probably send him a couple different versions and see from there. I got like 5 more days on the project, so I got good enough time. If I send him something in the morning, it'll be good to go.
Heck yeah. It's looking really good.
Thank you. Yeah.
I like the way you do anatomy.
Well, and it's like a little bit of a process, right? So he kind of liked his he wanted a chibi as well, and we went this size of chibi body. I could have went a little smaller if he wanted or however, but he kind of liked the Brat doll version, I guess.
Yeah.
The way to say it.
Yeah, now that you mention, yeah, Brat doll is a good way to describe.
Yeah, because there's like the Funko Pop chibi, and then there's the Brat doll style chibi, and then I don't know. These come off a little bit alien like to me, so that's cool though. It's a neat anime or neat style, I guess.
Yeah.
I always kind of took my anatomy style from a girl I followed for a long time named Junko Mizuno.
Okay, cool.
She's a cool artist. So,
are you going to ever try to do the create your own comic interiors route, or do you stick in more with the stickers, shirts, and commission type deal?
I think I'll do whatever money throws at me. Like,
Yeah.
if somebody has a job for interiors, I think I'd take it right now because that would keep me at the desk, right? So
yeah.
Even if it was more inexpensive, right now I have the time, so I feel like I would take it. My big thing is I'm newer, so hopefully people would work with me on process. I think I got flats down good enough where if somebody wanted me to flat, then I could probably figure out how they wanted to flat, and they could kind of train me a little bit towards what they wanted, or if they wanted me to do the whole thing, because here on these stickers, it's kind of neat for me to get in with the crowd because they're kind of noticing I can do lines and color and flats and everything. So, I can do a big resolution. So it's kind of neat way to show people I can do a little bit of everything.
That's cool. Yeah, it's good to build up that resume and more stuff to show people in the portfolio.
Yeah. Yeah, because other than fine art and a little bit of digital, but usually, we've talked before, it's been a lot of tattooing. So, like my old Instagram is all tattoo work and stuff like that, So it's like that, you can say you can do all this stuff, but until you really show the receipts, then then they don't necessarily, the clients don't necessarily know or sign on until they can see it.
Yeah, I always tell people, if you're going to shop for a tattoo artist or anything along those lines, make sure that they got a portfolio full of stuff that you like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. Yeah. Especially that. I mean, you don't want somebody just trying a new style on you unless unless you trust them, I guess. But
Well, you got to be careful because some tattoo artists will tell you they can do stuff, and they can't. No, no matter how hard they try, they just can't get that style down that you want. Or
1,000% true. 1,000% true. It's tattoo's not one of those genres of business where people are necessarily humble. I haven't
oh
seen,
no,
you know, they don't really pull out the humbleness in that
but
business.
you can see the same thing in indie comics. You'll see like these campaigns that failed to fulfill, or or they the book never came out, even though that they took the money and it made the money it needed to fulfill the campaign. It's because you'll find out, like, well, my interior artist has never done interiors, they only did pinups. Well,
Oh
it's like, well,
yeah.
sequentials is a completely different beast when it comes to withdrawing.
Mm-hmm.
Just like how pinups is different, and the compositions are different, the time periods are different. So if you got someone who's never done it a sequential before, and you're asking them to do not only one sequential but like 24 pages worth, they'll get in over their head super quick.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I primarily have been doing sequentials, so my pinup and sticker game is a little lacking compared to my setting up sequentials and doing stuff along those lines, because I just don't have as much practice
Oh right.
doing
Yeah.
pinups.
Well, and that could be where I would get in trouble if I didn't watch out with getting into a interior book, where I'd be like, am I able to keep up with a time frame? So I would definitely have to, yeah, I'd have to be on a good time frame with somebody if they did hire me for that.
But you have good talent, so it would just take learning how to, the time and just learning how to do it. But you have all of the skill and ability to do pretty much whatever you want, so it just be, taking the job, and then working on figuring out how you are going to do it as an artist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've definitely gotten into the point where my like studio is nice too, where it's not gonna, like, my regular life is not gonna affect my work.
Yeah.
I got a good rhythm with my day job and my home life, where it's not gonna affect things. So yeah, that's where a year ago I wasn't even taking commissions at all because I just wasn't able to get to the desk on time.
Yeah.
Because I was working print jobs or whatever, like screen printing, and that just burned me up.
Yeah, I couldn't do full-time work and do this at the same time. And I collect disability from the military, so it's able to subside my income some, so I
Mm,
don't have to do a lot of commission work. And I can, I work 2 or 3 days a week at a gas station, and I'm doing okay enough to survive and get this stuff done.
yeah, see, that's good. Yeah, your core bills are taken care of uh, to be able to live, and then this you can focus on when you want. Yeah, and that's the thing with me right now is my bills are kind of low. I got rid of a lot of bills, so so that way I could focus on art, because remaining consistent is key.
Yeah, consistency, as I was saying earlier, is kind of like my buzzword for the year. Is working on consistency of streaming, consistency of output. Just all around consistency. In all aspects of this job.
Yep, 1,000% agree.
Yeah, I was gonna try and join you guys earlier on Larry's stream, but my nephew came down and wanted to watch some anime with me, and it's one of the things I enjoy doing is sitting down and watching and showing him new shows and stuff. So we
Yeah,
ended up catching the last 7 episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen season 1. I'm prepping him for the movie, and then to watch season 2 here soon.
nice. Yeah, family first, I think.
Oh yeah,
Especially when it comes to anime and family. It's like a two for one deal.
All right, those are done.
I just found a cool channel on YouTube I've been getting into because I've really been kind of slacking on some anime, like some of the older stuff I just didn't know about even. And I found this channel. I'll find it again here now. It's called Recreation Station.
Do they show a lot of do they show anime on there? Or?
Yeah, like right on YouTube, so it's free.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I'm mostly watching on Crunchyroll right now. I've got that app, but boy, does that app suck. The Crunchyroll people really got to work on that thing because it does not run worth a darn.
I've heard about it, but yeah, it sucks that it's not so good. So yeah, in your StreamYard chat is that that channel.
Okay.
Like right here, they 3 days ago they put up Mask of Z Guy and Kashan, Robot Hunter. Puppet Princess. Oh, I watched the Puppet Princess the other day. That was kind of cool. And Crusher Joe.
Oh.
They had. They're gonna have Armitage here soon. On the 30th, Armitage 3, and Devilman.
Yeah, I'm gonna subscribe to this.
Metal Skin Panic, and Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, cool.
Fist of the North Star. I mean, they got a lot of cool old stuff.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
Black Magic M66.
I haven't been doing too much watching this stuff lately. I've just kind of been in kind of a bit of a personal funk, but I'm starting to get out of it now. I've just been sitting with the 4K fireplace videos on YouTube and reading manga.
Whatever gets you through the drawing, right? Though.
Oh yeah.
For a while, I was just listening to like cyberpunk lore. There's a guy online that just talks about how the city was brought up and the world and stuff. So just kind of listen to this nerd talk about cyberpunk.
Is that the 2077 game?
Yeah, well, he went through like the lore of it. So like basically the story that was laid out from the old tabletop game, and then there was a Cyberpunk Red edition that came out, and then he talks about the lore that continued through the 2077.
Oh, okay, cool.
So he's kind of talking like the backstory about it all, and he's talking about the factions of gangs and how the city was brought and how the world was built and all that stuff.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah, definitely different.
want to try to at least get this page done tonight.
Yeah, it looks like an epic new. That's the next book that's going down, right?
This is issue 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, issue 2's already done, and it's already been lettered. I just have to get it kind of together for printing, like a title page, ads in the back, see if I want to put some more pinups in it, just stuff like that. Get it dressed up for printing. I'm going to work on that once I get the inks done for issue 3 here. Like this is page 49 of like 55. So when I get those other 6 done and inked, then I'll focus on issue 2 and getting it ready for print so I can launch that on my website as soon as issue 1's Kickstarter is done.
So that's cool though. Then you got like, you're basically working on 1.5 at a time.
Yeah.
You're kind of working on, you got the 1 done, then you're working on 2 and 3 at the same time. And you know, that keeps you, I mean, that's going to keep all the books congruent too, where they're all kind of like looking the same. They're all, you're working out your, basically you're working out your storyboard at the same time.
Yeah, if I had to do it over, I would have planned a little bit better than I did. But it's been a learning process, and I did go back and do 5 brand new pages for issue 1. But you could kind of tell when you look through them too, because the art style has gotten better since issue 1. But it's been cool seeing the growth.
Yeah, when like you said, you got a learning curve going on, and then the cool thing is you got a success story already. You can feel accomplished because you got 1 done where most people don't even have a book done.
Yeah, it's been I try to do ladder goals, or that's what I call them. It's like my main goal would be to get to the point where I'm doing this full time and not having to do any side work. But I don't want that to be my only goal. So it's like getting issue 1 done, getting the first 4 issue arc done, improving my speed lines. I set up all of these a goal system, so I'm constantly having something to look positively at while I'm working on all this stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
Then once I get this 4-issue arc done, there's the AP Superverse crossover, and then it'll be start working on the second arc, which is I'm calling it the Go Unpunished arc. And then that one, I'm going to have a lot of the stuff figured out before I start the pencils on the first issue of that arc. So it's going to be a really big jump from issue 1, 2, 3, and 4. Issue 5 through whatever the next arc goes is going to be another quality jump, writing and everything in, because I've got a little bit better idea on how to set up a story a little bit better, how to set up and to flesh stuff out a little bit more. And I'm really getting excited to get started on that one too.
Nice. The one I read was fun. It was just fun.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. That's awesome.
Well, it just seems like it's not like anything that you do in the past is going to mess up with what you want to do in the future with that style of book.
Yeah. Well, like if you look at other series, like a big influence of mine is Eric Powell's The Goon. If you look at the first, trade paperback compared to like the 5th one, his style and he matured a lot during that time period. And there is something cool about when you see an artist grow kind of right before your eyes as the story is going on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I feel it. Yeah, I definitely think that.
The fun part when I get to doing the grayscale on these pages is figuring out how I'm going to do the water.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I can do clouds pretty much all day long, but the water is going to be fun to figure out.
Little waves or little finger licks or something.
Yeah, trying to figure out like as the copter moves along the water, leaving kind of a trail from the like as in when a boat or a plane goes through there, trying to
Yep.
figure out how to make that look.
I was just kind of noticing that, like the water is like skipping up behind it.
I'll be looking at a lot of references of like helicopters hovering close to the water, jet boats, all that kind of stuff.
They have those cool. It's kind of like a new thing where they got those tubes that then they hook to a backpack where it's shooting the jet of water out the backpack, and then the people hover up above the water.
Oh yeah, those things are so cool.
That's crazy. Imagine like doing one of those and skipping across your buddy though, blasting him in the face or something. I imagine that's why you don't see them on every beach around.
Yeah.
They
Have you
gotta be.
seen those other jetpacks where it's like the air turbines on the hands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talk about those all the time because Adam Savage, who used to do MythBusters, he did a show on YouTube, and after he was done with MythBusters and during lockdowns and stuff,
Yeah.
and he actually, I talk about him all the time because he actually made what I consider the first Iron Man suit ever, the first real one, because I followed him because for one he was just cool, but then he had a good studio YouTube where he would like do studio like uh, just projects and things like that, just
Yeah.
different things that he did personally. Well, and one of them was this Iron Man suit. So he came out with full. He's like full transparency. I had $2 million after MythBusters, right? And he was talking. He's like, I don't need $2 million. He's like, I can pretty much live on 1 million. He's like, I'm basically thinking I can live on $1 million. He's like, so what am I going to do with this extra million? I might as well do something fun that I'll never be able to have the chance to do again. So he 3D printed or had a Iron Man suit 3D printed out of titanium.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then he then contacted those guys with the arm jet and had them hook it up to his Iron Man suit, and he had it fly.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
He had a 3D printed titanium Iron Man flying suit that was like, and he MythBust tested it to see if it would be bulletproof, and it was, to a point, and yeah, you can look it up. It's I know CNET had a video about it, and it was all over there for a little bit.
That's badass.
Yeah, and it's because of those jets, those arm jets. He got it to fly. Because I had seen those too from where the military was trying to go from ship to ship with them with the soldiers.
Yeah, and I also saw they were using them on a racetrack. Like,
Oh,
guys are racing with them.
mm-hmm. Yep. Just that was just kind of recent that I saw those ones.
Yeah.
That's fun. And then there's that other guy that has the drone skateboard, basically a skateboard like drones though, and he kind of reminds me of the Hobgoblin.
Oh, that's.
I don't know
cool.
if you've seen that guy where he
No,
stands.
but is it like the board, but then it has like the four props on it, or did he just do it with two?
He did like he put a bunch of drones together, so he had, imagine like maybe 4 drones, and then he
Okay.
had a board attached to him. He's had different iterations of the thing, but yeah, he flies around standing on it, and he definitely reminds me of the Hobgoblin, flying around on that thing. So in my lifetime, I could say I saw a real Hobgoblin and a real Iron Man flying.
That's badass. All right. That page is 8.
The future is now, right?
Yeah. Well, I know the military, even when I joined the military in 99, and even in 99, they were talking about a mech, like an Iron Man kind of suit. At the time period, they weren't calling it an Iron Man suit. They were just calling it it was something else, and it looked a lot different. It almost looked like one of those 1980s action heroes that had like the black biker helmet, face shield helmets on.
Oh
And
yeah.
then it started changing more, especially when Halo became popular, because one thing the Army loves to do is to gear their stuff so that way the kids will be excited for it, so they'll join.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing stopping them is a power unit, like the having some kind of portable power unit. But they have pretty advanced suits that they're even talking about, and if they're talking about it, that means they have even more advanced ones that they're not talking about.
Oh yeah. I mean, I tattooed some people that they were like, they were just like, if it's in the movie, they probably got it.
Yeah, if you see it on a Discovery Channel documentary where they're showing you new Army tech, though, that's the old shit that they're willing to show you now.
Yeah.
They love hiding that awesome stuff until break glass in case of Russian emergency.
Yeah. Well, I followed it for a while. They had Sarcos was one of those companies that was a robotics team, and they worked with the military quite a bit. But then they definitely had these mech suits that you could get in a little bit just to like load ammo and stuff, So
Yeah,
they, you could turn, grab your ammo boxes, put them on a pallet, turn, put them on a pallet, that type of thing. So yeah.
were those the ones that kind of look like those exoskeletons from that Tom Cruise movie, not Day After Tomorrow? It was the one where he would die and then he would wake up back at the base.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, or like they kind of had a little bit of a look from Avatar. How?
Oh yeah, I think I know which ones you're talking about.
I've seen some like that too. Yeah, and we've all seen like the robot dogs and the jumping ones.
Oh yeah, the ones that will do like backflips and go through obstacle courses and shit. And
yeah, those are getting crazy.
Yeah,
those are getting crazy. The next war, if we have a World War III, it's gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah, Uncle Sam is gonna open up its secret box of toys, and we're gonna see some crazy shit.
I was just watching a railgun video.
Oh yeah, like the ones that got mounted on the aircraft carriers.
Yep.
Yeah, those things are pretty sick.
Well, then hearing about the laser, I guess CERN. I don't know. Sometimes it's conspiracy theories too, but apparently CERN has a laser in space, like that movie Real Genius. You remember that movie Real Genius? And some people are saying that's what started like the wildfires that are going on, that happened in like Hawaii and Cuba and stuff.
Yeah, when you start getting to that conspiracy theory area, it's amazing how much conspiracy theory turns out to be fact. But yeah, the houses with a certain color blue on the roof.
Yep.
weren't
You know
touched.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly what I'm talking about. Which there again, it gets crazy too, because then you look at Simpsons and you're like, man, how did they foretell some of this stuff?
It's because they got a time traveler working in the writer's room, probably.
Right.
Yeah, I was watching one guy being interviewed. And, this is all conspiracy theory stuff, so who knows if he's just full of shit selling a book or if he's telling the truth. But apparently, like he was talking about, they were in Antarctica. They were making some kind of long range, like a quantum communication radar or something along those lines. And when they tested it out, a unknown side effect was it caused an earthquake, like in Haiti or some shit. And it was like now they have like an earthquake machine where essentially they pinpoint a spot, they can cause like a 0.9 level earthquake, and all sorts of weird shit.
Right. And then you wonder, like, okay, do they really got it? Or are they just talking shit so that the Russians stay away? Like,
yep. Well, back in the Reagan era, during when the tensions with Russia were really, really hardcore, he came out and started talking about his Star Wars program of all of this stuff that America has in space to attack people. And it was all bullshit just to get the Russians freaked out and to spend a bunch of money trying to duplicate it. So it's hard to tell like what is disinformation or what is actually real shit, I saw one guy being interviewed that says that he was part of some kind of secret government program and he was living on Mars fighting this lizard person war, and he had a lizard wife and all sorts of crazy shit,
Uh-huh.
I was like, you sound like you're writing a book more than actually telling us the truth.
Right.
But it's good to smoke a couple joints and watch those interviews because it's pretty funny shit.
Yeah, I mean, we're just little guys on the ground. What do we know? I mean, believe it when I see it type stuff, I mean, I almost hope some of the shit's true because otherwise life's boring.
Yeah, I want to meet some lizard people.
Yeah. Beam me up, Scotty.
I know the way everything's all shitty and negative now. I would more than welcome going to a different planet.
Yep. I just saw a meme today that said, "I'll pay you to abduct me." It was this girl and a bunch of mushrooms. She's like, "I'll pay you to abduct me."
Yep.
Hilarious.
Yeah, there's no reason why. I mean, it's pretty obvious why aliens aren't talking to us. We're just a bunch of hairless apes sending dick pics to each other, blowing stuff up with nuclear weapons. Just like,
right.
We need to let those guys cook for a while. Let's move on to the next planet.
Oh, I think about it all the time. Like, I think if there's like a Star Trek type civilization out there, they're just like, okay, these guys are not ready for us. They can't even be okay with different colors of people, let alone different species of people.
Yeah.
throw in the 10 sexes of Romulans that there might be. I don't know. You can't you can't even deal with each other.
You ever see that island where they have the cannibals on it, and it's like illegal to go on it, and anyone who tries to go on it, the tribesmen there just kill it. Anyone, they're like completely almost untouched by modern society.
I've heard about it.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's what we are to the rest of space.
Yeah,
they're all like, don't go down there because those bastards will kill your ass quicker than shit and and trying to do all sorts of weird shit. Just leave them alone.
Right. There's a reason why the reptilians just stayed in the undercrust of Antarctica for forever. There's like 20 of them that landed on the ship a million years ago, and they're like, I'm not going up there. There's a bunch of monkeys up there just ready to kill your ass. Yeah. They had to get out for supplies and accidentally landed in Area 51 and
Yep.
like, fuck, that's what happened.
I told Steve not to go out there, but no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he had to go get snacks. Go on a weed run.
Yep. Earthlings are crazy, but they got great weed.
Yeah.
God, I haven't smoked weed since the 7th. Oh.
I've been off of it too, just because I'm broke, really. But
after I had my little health scare, I was like, I need to take a tolerance break anyways. And it's hard to diet smoking.
Yeah.
You know, because I'll get like 3 joints in, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm a grown ass man. I'm gonna go have a candy bar.
Right.
You know, so I've been doing a tolerance break, but it's gonna end here in like a week or so, and then plus 2, I was smoking so much weed, I was like, I don't even feel high anymore. Like I want to get that stupid with a little bit of a sweat, wondering if I made a mistake high. Like I you know,
right.
I haven't done that in so long. It's like, I want to get like uber fucked up where I feel the head change.
Right. Yeah.
I want to taste colors for a bit.
Yeah, I feel that. Which I do have to watch out now with some of the newer stuff. I got to watch out if I, you know, because it hits different. So I could get anxieties and stuff if I don't watch out. So.
I was doing that with sativas because I was dabbing real hardcore.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And I was using a sativa, and I remember just getting super high and then having like this knot in my back between my shoulders and just anxiety. Like I couldn't sit still. I was thinking about all sorts of weird shit because this is back when I was doing graveyard too, which does not help out with the anxiety. And after that, I just switched to all indicas. Like I'm not doing that sativa. Like I can smoke green sativa and not affect me that bad, but when it comes to dabs, that shit gets pretty freaking potent.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's no joke. Definitely not for a beginner.
Oh no, but it is fun to get a beginner on it. But it's you got to be careful though.
Yeah. Well, and even just edibles. I had a friend that had got some brownie from a friend, and then you know, one friend to another friend, and he had like made this thing like a triple batch, and he you know, me and my girlfriend at the time went and visited him, and he's just like he's just comatose, pretty much just drooling on himself. And we're like, what happened to you, man? And he's like, I ate a brownie. Like, you ate a brownie like two days ago? We're like, come on. No way. You know, I'm like, dude, never do that again. And he called me the next day and he's like, I did it again. He's laughing like Beavis and Butthead. And I'm like, just take a shower, man. And he's like, I called the paramedic. I'm like, you called the paramedic? You know? and I'm like, dude, you better tell them exactly what's going on. Don't be lying now. You know what I mean? Like, and he'd tell me later on, he's like, when the paramedic came, he was like on the stretcher because they had to take him on a little stretcher or whatever, and he's just like, they're wheeling him down the hallway, and he's like, I was just yelling, don't do drugs, kids. He's like, I felt like I was in an after school special. I'm like, oh man, take a shower, dude. He's like, I ate the whole brownie. It was just too good.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I've done that before. It's like you have an edible and then nothing's really happening. It's like, I'm gonna smoke this joint or do this dab. This edible ain't shit. And then it's like 30 minutes later, like, oh, wait a minute. It's all catching up now.
Yeah. Mistakes were made.
Yep.
Uh, there again, the future is now. I never would have thought that stuff would be like straight legal. I always thought it should be, but I just never thought it would get to that point.
I was I was convinced that it was going to ruin the business. Like I thought, they're going to legalize it. It's going to become shit. And then it's not going to be even nowhere near as good as it was. And boy, was I wrong. Like they did some science shit to that stuff, and it's gotten all kinds of better than what it used to be back in the day.
Right. And it almost makes me wonder if that's why they legalized it, because they knew that was coming down the line. They also wanted, I know they wanted to like kill the industry from Mexico. Like the cartels were using it for their big money.
Yeah.
So that's really, I think, the main reason. But
Well, and it was hard to keep a cap on it because it's like it's not nearly as bad for you as smoking cigarettes or drinking beer.
right,
And it was just kind of one of those things where the people who thought it was evil are getting old and starting to die out, and then the people who who've been smoking it their whole lives are now in positions of power, and it just eventually you can't keep the bag on that for too long.
right. When the judges are all smoking weed, they kind of want it too.
Yeah, that whole reefer madness era was kind of like, well, we know that's bullshit now, so there's really no justification to keep this stuff illegal.
Yeah.
Plus, look at all the money they can make off of it.
Yeah.
I know here in Washington, they're making money hand over fist on weed.
Yeah. Here in Michigan too. I mean, Detroit has enough of it, but my little town that I was at, they had like 5 dispensaries in that little town. It's kind of crazy, to be honest.
Yeah, the town I'm in right now is a smaller. It's a city, but it's a smaller city, and we have like probably like 10 or 12 dispensaries and multiple different operations around, because in Washington, everything has to stay separate. You can't own a farm, a packaging plant, and a dispensary. So all of those are separate businesses. So then you've got guys who own just packaging plants, you got guys who just own farms, and then you got guys and gals that just own the dispensary part of it. And they also have a lot of weird rules, like you can't sell anything but weed products at the weed store. Like
Oh yeah, you were saying that. Yeah.
shirt there. Yeah, they can't even sell shirts for their own stores, and it's a lot different than across the river in Oregon, where it's essentially like we don't give a shit what you guys do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that is kind of how it is here too. Like a weed store, like some of the weed stores here, they definitely get a little bit more popular just because they have like a good like brand product.
Yeah. Like our buddy Sam Quentin, he's working with a guy that works here out of works out of Oregon, Adam Watson, I believe his name is, and he gets spinner racks of comics, indie guys, AP, and whoever else can work with him, and he gets spinner racks put into tattoo shops and dispensaries all over Oregon, or tries to. But he's constantly growing.
Yeah, and that's a good way. It's one of the only, like, I got my stickers into two different places, and one of them was a Halloween store, but one of them was a glass blowing. They had like glass. So that's definitely the one of the ways is to get it into those little shops. If
Oh
you find
yeah.
an indie one.
When I have a graphic novel's worth of Sig and Joe, I'm going to send him some. It's harder to get into shops if you don't have your price margins to where they want it. A lot of comic book shops and those places want a 50% markdown from cover price.
Yeah.
So if they're if I'm selling Sig and Joe issue 1 for $5, but it's cost me $2.50 to print it, I'm not gonna make any money if I give him a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's kind of how I was doing with the glass shop, especially. I did such a good rate to get it in there. I was basically doing it for marketing. I was making like a buck on a sticker, but that's just really not that much.
No. Who do you go through for your sticker printing?
If I want a really fancy sticker, I go to Sticker App.
Sticker app. Okay.
Yep, they actually are number one in the business. I would claim because they got probably the most technological sticker printing operation. You can get. They got this one sticker that is like it'll be like reflective a little bit, but then if you shine it in a black light, it'll show a completely different sticker.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
they got some crazy stuff going. Of course, they got glow in the dark vinyl and all the different glitter stickers and just all the different processes. And then their app, which is just an online website, is really good. I'll put that in your StreamYards. But then Sticky Brand is another one that I go to, and that one has a lot too. But then they have the best deals. They actually have the best glow in the dark sticker. Then thirdly, I'll go through which Sticky Brand is who I use the most right now because of the deals. And usually I don't get the fanciest ones all the time. I'm just getting more like glow in the dark, or I'm getting just a regular iridescent, or I'm getting just a bomb proof vinyl. So Sticky Brand for that. They have the best deals. And then I go through a bunch of random third like favorites. Zug Monsters one, Vinyl Disorder I've gotten from Sticker LA. There's another one. Vograce I've gotten stuff from them. They're pretty good as far as like a lot of different type of they got little uh, resin stand up things or charms and things like that. Um, there's one called Cat Print that's out there. It's pretty good. So I've tried out a bunch of different places.
Oh, cool.
I've gone to Sticker Mule. I had a friend tell me a bunch of stuff, reasons why to cancel them. So I canceled them too, just for solidarity.
Okay, yeah.
I did look into it a little bit. Like they did some pretty bad right wing stuff, and they supported a guy I didn't really like. So I'm like, okay, I guess I can. I got so many different sticker companies that I go to different ones rather than.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I've only used Sticker Mule because I've only got stickers done one time, and I have to say that the quality of the 5x5 cutouts that I got, the one that I stuck on my car is still doing good, but I didn't know about the other stuff type.
Yeah, their quality is right there. I'd say they're on the top 5 of sticker companies. Definitely, maybe even the top 3 of sticker companies out there. I would say Sticky App, Sticky Brand, Sticker Mule. That's how I would put them into like quality and stuff. The thing about I don't understand about like Sticker Mule is they don't do like clear stickers or just certain types of vinyl they don't get into, like I guess I don't know if they do any glitter or anything like that either.
I don't
So
think so. Yeah, that they only have like a certain kinds that they like to do on their website. But I'll
yep.
definitely give Sticker App a shot this time because I gotta get stickers made of your artwork and then of Pete's, and also I might be doing some more stickers myself. If I get into that Galactic Fest deal, the local alien convention here, I'm going to do stickers just of a certain alien themed stickers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be looking to. I have no problem. I have no loyalty to Sticker App or Mule, so I have no problem switching up.
Yeah, well, and so I tell everybody that if you're going to get started in the stickers, even if you're not going to go with Sticker App, you should start with Sticker App.
Yeah.
At least to go onto their website, and you can click through their website, and you can like click on like make custom stickers, right? And then you can actually upload your file and see what it looks like. You can change the size, you can change the background, you can see exactly what like Marv is going to look like, and then it'll give you an instant quote about like what 110 pieces is going to be, and then it'll give you an actual mock-up right there and then of what it'll look like with a glitter background um, or what the cut line is going to look like. You know what I mean? It's like you don't have to go through a proof process with them. It's just
That's nice.
all
With Sticker Mule, I had to create artwork to fit the 5x5 area for the die cuts. Like I couldn't just put
Mhm,
a
mhm.
huge picture there and then just shrink it down. Like they wanted one to fit in that area. So that'd be
Yeah,
nice to be able to play around with the size a bit and have a little bit more freedom with the design.
yeah. Let me see if I can even bring it up. I think I got a little thing on my Streamlabs where I can bring it up. Yeah, I mean, you can play with a cut line three different ways. You can do a small, medium, or large, and it'll show you what the cut line looks like. So that way, if your artwork is a little bit weird, you can always change your artwork just a little bit and to tailor like what size cut line you want to do, or if you want the background to show up a little bit or not. Because that transparent PNG, like I had sent you, wherever it's transparent, imagine that's where the glitter is going to show through, or that's where the glow in the dark is going to show through,
Yeah.
or so like if you wanted to have like Marv's eye glow in the dark, you could take down the opacity of his eye, and then that glow in the dark will show through a little bit more.
Okay,
So,
cool.
or the glitter will show through on highlights or whatever however you want to do it. And then Sticker App kind of shows you and almost teaches you how to make stickers that way. Then and it kind of so like before I sent a sticker to you or Larry or like this guy right here, I'll like actually take the artwork and throw it in Sticker App, and I'll look at it and I'll be like, okay, it's kind of looking good, everything's going good.
All right. Yeah.
Or I'll tweak it and then I'll send it to the client. It's kind of one of my like Sticker App is actually like a tester for me almost. So yeah, here's let's see, I think you'll even be able to see it.
Right here.
Oh,
Bam.
oh I gotta I went onto your StreamYard, so I gotta get back to where did I put it? There we go. I think we're showing now, right?
Yeah. I got you up on full screen.
Okay. Yeah, so you can upload file here and drop it in. Let me. Hopefully, I don't dox anything crazy.
You want me to pull you off until you get it set up, or
Yeah, maybe for a second. Then I don't.
yeah, there you go. I
I,
shrink you up on there.
I do got a boob artwork up there, so I don't want to make you go something crazy. Where's my stickers here? There we go.
Oh, the phone's dead. Wow, I've been streaming for almost 3 hours. Sweet.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to get back to Larry's channel too. See.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to get back there also. Join
Was,
you guys for the. Oh, that looks cool. You are ready to bring you up?
Yeah, that's cool. Yep. So yeah, you can kind of just show it here. You can over on the right, you can change your cut line. You know, if you want to change it to small, medium, or large. If you want to do circles or round or whatever. Let's say I want to do a glitter sticker.
Is this your artwork?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
That's sick, dude.
Thank you. I did it with marker, and sometimes it takes a second for it to load up, or sometimes it glitches out a little bit, especially when I got big artwork on it. But yeah, I did it with marker first, and then and I guess I don't know why it's not unless I need to refresh maybe or something. I did it with marker first, and then I took it to digital.
Yeah, it looks sick.
Yeah, it's taking a little bit of time to render. But yeah, you got removable vinyl, glow in the dark, high tacky vinyl, craft paper, brushed alloy, which that brushed alloy is kind of neat to do like my because I actually had a gold brushed alloy at one time for my gauntlet sticker. That was really cool because I got like a shocker gauntlet.
Okay.
And then you can change your width here. Maybe that's what's kind of doing it. Like if I wanted it 4 inches by 3 inches, you know, quantity, you can take it down. They do have small runs, so I can get as low as 13 pieces for $29.
Wow. Okay.
You know, so you can do low runs with them. The bad thing about them is they don't necessarily do as many deals as the other ones.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can play in here and then take your sticker design to go to like Sticky Brand. Sticky Brand, if you get onto their email list or their and I get on their SMS list, and they'll send me deals to my phone, and it's like crazy deals. Like right now, I think I got something like $30 for 100 stickers or something. I'll have to check my messages here.
Yeah, I'm definitely bookmarking this page. Thank you very much for sharing that one, sticker app.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe it's because my computer's running on overtime trying to render everything, but a lot of times it'll show the background here.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I get the idea of it though, and I see you got a lot of windows and stuff open too. So
Yeah, I got
your computer's like just screaming right now.
like, hey, leave me alone.
Like, what the hell, man?
Yeah. So right now on Sticky Brand, I got 25% off of the whole site. Anything right now, then.
The other one's called Sticky Brand.
Yep, Sticky Brand.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. So it's showing the prismatic right now.
Oh, nice. Okay.
See how it'll kind of like give you an idea of what's going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pixie dust is a cool one. Glitter is cool. Glow in the dark. It is what you imagine. It'll just kind of make everything look a little bit green, and that's why I made this one, so it'd have that little bit of a green edge, and it was made for a glow in the dark, to be honest.
Yeah, it looks cool. I see what you're talking about now. I'm gonna definitely play around, look at that, and might do my order of the Marv stickers and my other ones through there too.
Yeah. And then like for your main ones, like that Sticky Brand will get you like a good deal. Like, was it on March 15th? They sent me a deal that was 200 vinyl stickers in any shape for $29.
Wow.
Yeah, so 2 inches for $29, 200 of them. So that's like, you know, you can't go wrong with that. You know, on your con table, that's like if you're selling them at $1 each, you're making, you're making $170.
Yeah. And then,
You know?
that's almost like print margin, like getting prints margin. You get prints
Mm-hmm.
real cheap and then sell them for higher. Yeah, that's nice.
Yep. It's a good way to supplement, before that was 100 3-inchers for $29. So depending on the size and the deal they got going, and they're cool because a lot of times you can stack the deals. So if you got one in your email, you got one in your SMS, you go onto the website, you can put both of them on there. So for like $100, you could have yourself 1,000 stickers sometimes.
Yeah. And
So.
the cons I've been to, people love stickers.
Yeah. Well, and so my one friend will swear by them, and he's the one that kind of got me going on it. His name is Goblin Grim on like TikTok or wherever, but he swears by stickers more than anything. He said that a lot of times stickers will pay for his whole table.
Oh, that's cool.
He's like, even if I go slow on everything, stickers will make the money because that's what the kids are grabbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
cool, man. Well, I'm gonna take off and get on Larry's off air, but it's been great hanging. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for coming on, and I'm getting ready to close up here, and I'll be joining you there in a couple minutes. I just got to move laundry over and get the stream closed up, but I'm going to join you guys.
All right.
To watch episode 3. I'm excited. That's such a good show.
Yeah, it is.
All right, man. Well, thank you again for joining, and I will see you in a bit.
All right. I'll do the awkward leave while I find StreamYards in my horde of things. All right, guys. Thanks. Bye.
That's my good friend Art Victim. Make sure that check it out. Search his name on there. He does a lot of good commission work, stickers, artwork. He streams on Twitch. That's Art Victim. I want to thank everyone who stopped by tonight. I'm going to try to keep this going and being more regular on here. But I want to thank everyone. Check out my website, www.dailygrindpress.com. On there, you'll find the first issue of Sig and Joe, 40-page basic PDF issue of Sig and Joe, as well as the first issue of my business partner and best friend Max Weston's book, Welcome to Blue Water. That's a 64-page first issue. Check both of those out. $1.99 a piece for each. You really can't beat that deal. A lot of good comic for a little less than $2. Well, for 1 penny less than $2. And I hope everyone has a great night. Stay positive. Keep working. Everyone have yourself a great time. Until next time. Everyone have a good one.